Our other big top story tonight, with less than 2 hours to go in the 2024 legislative session, several key bills remain in limbo and unlikely to pass. Tonight's midnight deadline poses a potential roadblock for the passage of everything from an equal rights amendment to a bonding bill to legalizing sports betting. Chief political reporter Tom Hauser is live at the Capitol. He's been covering this all day. Lawmakers there, Tom, must adjourn in less than 2 hours. A lot of work still undone at this point.
Yeah, and it's not a budget year, so technically they don't have to do anything else. But there was hope among various lawmakers for, among other things, sports betting, an ERA amendment, a bonding bill. But unless something dramatic happens in the next 2 hours, actually less than 2 hours, all of those things could be dead.
This isn't good governance.
Yesterday, this building was shut down.
Spirited debates on a number of issues in the House on the final day of session.
Once we lose that decorum, I think it's going to be very difficult to get it back.
And in the Senate. But very little action Sunday on the marquee issues like the Equal Rights Amendment in the Senate, or on sports betting, or a bonding bill in either chamber. Part of the problem is the Senate recessed for 12 hours on Saturday during behind-the-scenes negotiations on the Uber-Lyft rideshare pay bill.
While we were not working inside the chamber, we were working on a priority issue.
But DFL Senate Majority Leader Erin Murphy acknowledges work on that priority issue might get in the way of other priority issues, including Senate passage of an equal rights amendment.
And the question really for us is time. It is an issue that we have to debate. It is language that we haven't debated before in the Minnesota Senate.
Look, they have pushed everything. If this was a priority for them, the ERA would have been done weeks ago. But now they've waited till the very last day and the very last hours to have a debate on a bill that we haven't seen the language yet in the Senate.
So with less than 2 hours to go in the 2024 legislative session, let's take a look at where things stand on some of the key bills. The House did pass the Equal Rights Amendment with that controversial abortion language early this morning. However, the Senate has not yet taken it up. Sports betting is in limbo. It hasn't come up in either the House or the Senate. A rideshare or Uber-Lyft pay bill did pass the House, but still needs a vote in the Senate yet tonight. And a bonding bill is looking increasingly doubtful as the clock ticks toward midnight. Now, there is some talk about putting a bunch of issues that are left undone into one big so-called garbage bill and trying to pass that. But that is just rumor at this point. There's going to be a meeting, I guess, in the next several minutes, and they're going to discuss that possibility. So we will see what happens. We'll be here up until midnight, and of course we'll have updates at KSTP.com and on 5 Eyewitness News Morning. Live at the state capitol, Tom Hauser, 5 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Tom, thank you. While it looks unlikely now, if that Equal Rights Amendment passes, voters would decide whether to add it to the state constitution in 2026. The ballot question would ask whether people should be protected based on things like their race, color, national origin, ancestry, disability, or sex. It would also include protections for someone's gender identity and sexual orientation, as well as their pregnancy and, quote, pregnancy outcomes. Republicans say that essentially guarantees the right to an abortion without telling voters explicitly what it means.
What goes into our state constitution is the words, making and effectuating decisions about all matters relating to one's own pregnancy, or decision whether to become or remain pregnant. And even in that, it doesn't use the word abortion.
Democrats say they're trying to build legal protections for pregnant women outside of the abortion issue.
Pregnancy is more encompassing. It is not just about the decision to become pregnant or remain pregnant. It is also includes miscarriage care, postpartum care, lactation, just to name a few.
Republicans say the current version of the bill would put one of the, quote, most extreme abortion laws in the nation into the state constitutions. Democrats disagree, saying laws in other states which restrict abortion are the ones that are extreme. We will know by midnight if that amendment will go to voters.